The top 10 new comics for June 23rd, 2021. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, comic book fan. Welcome to the latest episode of the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club. This is the series where I count down the top 10 first issues debuting this week on New Comic Book Day. This is episode number 274 of the podcast for June 23rd, 2021. We'll look at all the issue number ones debuting this week so you know which ones to pick up when you walk into your comic shop. Tell them VM Campos sent you. If you enjoyed my picks, don't forget to click like down there, maybe give me a comment, and consider pressing that join button. Consider subscribing to the audio version of the podcast. Head on over to your favorite podcast app, search for VM Campos and subscribe. Listen to me on the go. In the meantime, let's talk about the comics. Alright, starting off this week at number 10, I've picked DC Comics' Batman Reptilian number 1. There's a few variant covers here. This is the Liam Sharp cover. There's this really hilarious Cully Hammer cover. And then the Bill Sienkiewicz cover. He always does amazing, epic covers. Now, what's this actually all about? This is part of the Black Label. What strikes fear into the hearts of those who terrorize Gotham? It used to be Batman, but something far more frightening than a mere man stalks the shadows, and it's after Gotham's villains. How savage must the monster be to haunt the dreams of monsters? This is a Garth Ennis-written Batman story. Ennis hasn't worked with DC in a while, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments there. But here's a Garth Ennis story with Batman. Has Garth Ennis written any Batman stories in the past? Probably. He's been around a while. So anyway, I love this cover. It's hilarious, although it reminds me of the Department of Truth over from Image Comics with those X's in the people's eyes, and then Reptilian Batman eyes. Hilarious. And then the Bill Sienkiewicz cover. At first I couldn't quite tell what was going on, but then after looking at it a couple of times, I see Killer Croc's arms going down and choking Batman to death. But yeah, Bill Sienkiewicz cover, pretty amazing. Pretty interesting series. Batman Reptilian number 1 is number 10 on the list. Moving over from the gritty world of Batman, we come over to the bright sunshine world of Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever, Summer Fun, number 1. From Archie Comics. Are you ready to simp for Betty and Veronica? I know you are, and for only $2.99, you'll gladly do it. Written by Various, art by Various, cover by Dan Parent. Of course, you can tell Dan Parent's style right away. There's not much to say here, except if you want to take time off from the dark and gritty comics that fill the comic shops nowadays, Archie Comics is still around 80 years later, and it's not just the world of Riverdale over there. Come on over some good old-fashioned classic Betty and Veronica Archie Comics. Next up, I picked Scout Comics' Scoot imprint, Claire and the Dragons, number 1, written by Wander Antunes and art by the same. So looking at this cover art, I love the style. It's this cartoony style. This is, I believe, more of the family-friendly, all-ages imprint of Scout Comics. The villagers talk about the crazy old hermit Lontar, who lives in the caves. Young Claire is the only one who believes him and has befriended the old outcast. Now this is one of these deals where enjoy the first issue and then get the whole thing collected in one volume. So if you like what you pick up here for $1.99, then you can get the whole collection all at once. What do you think about that? That we're seeing more of these binge reading sorts of entrees into comic books? I like it. I think it's a cool way to consume comics in a different way. I think Scout Comics is doing it right. What about you? Tell me about it in the comments. At number 7, I picked Boom Studios' Good Luck. I think you're going to have good luck with this comic book. That's a terrible pun. Anyway, this is written by Matthew Ehrman, art by Stefano Simeone. I love Stefano Simeone's art, as we will see here in a moment. And then we've got various covers, Jorge Corona and Gerald Parel. What if luck was quantifiable, and something everyone was born with, everyone except the unfortunates, teenagers born with absolutely zero luck? A bold new original series for fans of Seven Secrets and Runaways from Matthew Ehrman and Stefano Simeone. So I love Stefano Simeone's art from Read Only Memories. I really like this sort of style, this mannered, gangly, luminous, techie style. It was much more in effect over on that other series, Read Only Memories? Yeah, Random Access? Yeah, Read Only Memories. that was published previously, but they also worked on the recent Mega Man series. So this interior art, I love it. I love these colors, very creative panel layout, and this concept of luck and so forth I think is pretty cool. The one I'm picking up is the foil variant cover, because I'm a sucker for those gimmick covers that crashed the comic book industry in the 90s. But it won't happen again, I'm sure. From Titan Comics, I'm recommending Extraordinary #1. This is written by V.E. Schwab, art by Enid Balam. Various variant covers. I picked up issue number 0, the prelude to this, where we see Charlotte Tills survives a deadly crash. She comes back with powers. The power is to foresee a person's death within reflections. Uh-oh, are you going to see your own death inside of these right here? And this is the proper series of it starting off. We have a variety of variant covers. That one's by Enid Balam, interior artist. Here's one by Valdemar Rivas. I kind of like the Grim Reaper scythe right here. And here's one by Lenka Simechkova, Skeletons plus Angels. That's a pretty cool concept. The one that I picked up was the Final Order Cutoff variant cover, this black and white one with the other main character of the series. That's the one that I'm picking up. I like getting the more rare version of things, and the FOC one should be it. All the other covers are still good. Interior art is also good. We get a little preview of it right here. I think this is giving a little bit too many spoilers. Actually, I won't show any of those previews because, as I said here, the main story is about Charlotte Tills, but what was going on in the preview, check that out yourself when you pick it up at the comic shops this week. Next up on the list is your chance to get in on the ground floor of a brand new Black Hammer series, the critically acclaimed series from Jeff Lemire. So this is from Dark Horse Comics. It's next on the list. We've got a brand new Black Hammer Reborn. This takes place 20 years after the previous plot lines. It's a good starting point, a good jumping on point, because it sort of resets things to a certain point. But if you've read the previous series and how it all connects together here, you'll get much more of a deeper picture of it. Amazing cover over here. This is by Caitlin Yarsky. And then we've also got the Jeff Lemire cover. This is obviously an homage to the classic first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. We see down here Lemire after Simonson, Walt Simonson. So really cool. I like, we see a lot of covers that borrow from like Amazing Spider-Man 300. We do that one over and over. We see Adjective List Spider-Man cover homage over and over. We don't see a lot of the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill cover. Remind me which one it is. Put it in the comments. Thor number 300 and something. We don't see a lot of these, although Jane Foster Mighty Thor did a version of it. But it's cool when we see that sort of variant of things. And anyway, Black Hammer is the series that is critically acclaimed. It's sort of deconstructed superheroes and so forth. It's next on the list. My next pick is from Behemoth Comics and will get me demonetized if I even say its name. MFKZ's is the comic book right here, written by Run. This is the regular cover by Run. We've got variant covers. Here's another one by Run. This is inspired by the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This one's also by Run. This is sort of a throwback to the original 2006 indie comic version. And this one is by Mr. Kern with a Vin's Diesel painted cover. That's my favorite one. What's this all about? Jump into the unique world created by legendary artist Run, following Angelino and his flaming skull pal Vince, who lives in a gang and cockroach-infested dystopian metropolis called DMC, a city that hides secrets even weirder than its inhabitants. Interior art is pretty cool. It's this weird, kinetic, grungy sort of style. I'm enjoying this sort of interior art. Variety of variant covers. It feels GTA-ish. One thing that I was curious about, this is from Label 619, which I thought, well, 619, that's in my hood over here. But looking it up, it's a French label, so I wonder if they have a 619 over in France as well. Mon Dieu. Bunch of variant covers to choose from, like I said, and this is clearly disapproved by the Comics Code Authority. West Coast, Best Coast. We're in the top 3, and I've picked Marvel's Voices Pride #1, so happy Pride Month. Here we have a comic book from Marvel that is an anthology thing with a variety of artists and writers, celebrating the various LGBTQIA+ characters of the Marvel Universe. Remember, Angela's part of the Marvel Universe now. Here is the Luciano Vecchio cover. We've got an amazing Chris Anka cover. I love these colors. Right here, very soft, beautiful purples and pinks. We've got an Olivier Coipel cover. I like the variety of characters on this one in the poses that they're in. Apologies, I'm not familiar with this character here. Tell me about who they are in the comments. But this is the Paulina Ganucho cover. Here's an America Chavez cover by Phil Jimenez. This one's really cool. Hulkling and Wiccan by Phil Jimenez, and an Hernanda Souza cover. I'm not familiar with this character either. Tell me who they are in the comments. The one I'm picking up is the Jeffrey Verege cover. I like the Verege covers. They're this sort of very mannered, stylized version of the characters, and this is also celebrating North Star, Marvel's first openly gay superhero, who came out in the 90s in that classic Alpha Flight comic. I've got that comic plus second printing, the rare second printing. All I need to do is get the newsstand editions and then I'm set in my collection. So I picked Marvel Voices Pride #1 as the third pick of the week. Number 2 on the list is Todd McFarlane's Spawn's Universe #1 with a variety of covers. After celebrating 300 issues of the Spawn comic, Todd McFarlane is now going to conquer a shared universe. So we've got the J. Scott Campbell cover, we've got the Todd Father himself cover over here with Gunslinger Spawn, we've got another J. Scott Campbell cover with Medieval Spawn, another Campbell cover, here's Redeemer, the Redeemer, here's a Todd McFarlane and a Brett Booth collab cover, and another McFarlane cover. So plenty to choose from. I got the basic cover, there's just a lot of them, and a whole new universe of Spawn characters to dive into. And the #1 pick for this week isn't exactly a comic book, and it isn't exactly an issue #1, but I had to bring this to your attention. Insight Editions, DC Comics' Batman, the official Gotham City cocktail book. This is a bartender's cocktail book inspired by the characters of the world of Gotham. We've got drinks related to Batman himself, Poison Ivy, Commissioner Gordon, the Joker, etc. Step-by-step instructions for crafting the perfect cocktail after beating up the villains of the night. There are alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks here, and tasteful bar bites. So this is a fun book. I like it when comics go a little bit beyond what they usually are, so this is my pick for this week. Love it. And that was my top 10 list. What did you think? What am I missing? What are you picking up? Tell me all about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share. Tell more people about the top 10 list. This list that we do every single week. If you really enjoy my content, consider pressing the join button right here in YouTube to access exclusive perks and become part of the VMC crew. Just click join to find out. In the meantime, I hope you like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, battle a Minotaur, do all that good stuff. This has been the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club, and I'll see you next week.